angle. Okay, well, I guess this is gonna be it, because you know what happens whenever I go on a live stream? It's like the angle comes out super fucking low after that, and it's like all you see is crotchal region. So it's like, what are we doing here? TikTok, let's get it the fuck together. Speaking of which, like, TikTok be on some interesting shit. Let's just say I can tell that TikTok was bought over by whatever the fuck the Oracle company is, because the algorithm is totally different. So we need to all come together and make our own motherfucking servers so that we can talk about whatever the fuck we want, and there's no rules because it's adults only. And we have our adult beverage. Right now I am having a coffee, and I put a little bit of cut water in it. Actually, I put a lot of cut water in my coffee because, you know, like an espresso martini cut water without a coffee is, you know, like why are we even drinking the coffee? And then I have my flat water in my queefing mug with lipstick all over the place, because that is what we are doing. So I have to get started with the sermon. I don't have to, but I choose to get started with the sermon for the simple fact of, if I don't, then this is going to be all over the place. Hey, Shelly, what is up, gorgeous? Thank you for joining. Good to see you. Long time no see. So we have to, yes, it has, girl. I'm glad you joined. I was just about to get started with a sermon over here because, you know, if not, I get super sidetracked, and I mean, the video will be all over the place. Whoa, Victoria Valentine, I like and appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Glad you're here. Oh, Shelly, hell yeah, we gotta do this, you know. And don't forget, we are rewriting the Bible Cutwater edition. Remember that? Don't think I forgot about that. So, let's see with this. Okay, so the first thing that I want to start off with is, hey, Marie Bell, love your energy too. Thank you for joining. Thank you for contributing your energy to the chat. Victoria, I'm an Aries. We always, well, I always say it in here, but you know, okay, so let me not get distracted. You see, I'm getting distracted already. So I'm going to try to do something different where I do like a mini sermon, and then I'll do an intermission, and then I'll like chat with you guys, and then I'll do another mini sermon. I don't know. We'll see. You know, there are no rules. It's just kind of everything just fucking happens. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so let me talk to you about, let's see. Okay. So I have a whole bunch of notes here in my handy dandy iPad. So let's talk about Delulu and logic and manifesting, because in the manifestation community, you know, even with individuals that I work with personally, there's a lot of conflicting things even in the manifestation community, where they'll hear someone say this, and then they'll hear someone else say that, right? It's like kind of like persist and detach. It's like let go but persist in your mind, but you can't care about the outcome, but you need to feel it real, but you don't need to feel anything, right? Like there's a lot of conflicting activity or chatter, I guess. So let me tell you this one thing about manifestation. It has no rules aside from this one thing. The law is the law, and the law is neutral. Period. Hey, Monica, what is up, gorgeous? Thank you for joining. The law is the law, and the law is neutral. So the manifesting techniques, or what you have to do or what you can't do, all of that is dependent on you, because you are the law and the law is neutral, okay? Ooh, love my content. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the content, Pink Bow. You don't have a username, but I see you. Thank you for joining. So the law is the law and the law is neutral. So we can take techniques out of the equation. We can take letting go, detaching out of the equation. It is what you say it is, okay? That's it, period. You are the one who is, let's say you have this script in your mind, your internal narrative, okay? That is what going to play out for you. That is what is going to play out for you. Oh, I'm sorry to hear your cat died a month ago. Is there a way to manifest him back or a cat like him, and how? So it really depends. You want to decide. Ooh, thank you, Dialona BB. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your username, but yes, I'm glad you're locked in. I am the Lord and there is none else. Hell yeah. If you want to manifest your cat, first decide, do you want him or do you want a cat that's like his replica? Okay, so that's number one. If you want him, then you just picture him being there, or you would say he's there, or you would imagine him already, like, if you're on the couch, you would imagine yourself petting him. You would just be like, I'm so glad he's here. I don't know what happened. That was a glitch, right? You would just kind of omit that anything happened. If you want a brand new cat, then it would be the same principle. You either affirm or you visualize, and then what is the new cat's name? Then, obviously what either of their names are, you would just call them. You would just be in your mind like, okay, yeah, they're here. They're with me, right? Because energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred, right? So the energy of your cat never, nothing ever happened to that. So technically your cat is still with you. If you want a brand new cat, then that energy of that new cat already exists. So all you had to do is summon it forth by imagining that you already have a cat in your home and you're so happy. Like, you wake up in the morning, your cat is purring next to you in the bed. You go to sleep at night, same thing. You come home, oh, I'm so excited. I have to go home and feed my cat, whatever the fuck, however you talk to yourself in your mind. Okay. So that's how you would do it. But anyway, so the law is the law and the law is neutral. So if you want to think of the internal narrative that you have going on in your mind, the law, the matrix, the mother, the breeder, the artificial intelligence that is connected, in my opinion, to your subconscious mind for entertainment purposes only, because, I'm batshit fucking crazy. I'm mad as a hatter, and none of this is real, because of course you can't do manifestation and conscious reality co-creation because it's science fiction. Okay, cool. So now that that's out of the way, we're just going to go with it. So you are creating internal narratives in your mind. That's what's going to play out in the 3D. So it doesn't matter how, it doesn't matter when, because whenever you are thinking of the thing, you want to think of it as it's already done, because you can only always think of something from your now moment. You're just going to get that back. So if you don't need a technique. If you just decide this is what it is, that's the technique. Did you let go? Did you detach? Did you do a bunch of affirmations? No, and the shit still manifested. Okay? If you're someone who you're like, well, if I don't sit and robotically affirm for 10 hours, I'm not going to get what I want, then it's not the affirmations that are doing or not doing anything. You said, if I don't sit and robotically affirm, I'm not going to get what I want. So, okay. The matrix is like, yes, master. Okay, so now you made that own rule right there, but there are no rules. So and in my opinion, the thing that I agree with the most in the manifestation community is the whole delulu thing, right? Because if you want to think about it, like, everything is a delusion. Okay, if you have a fear and it plays out, oh, but you were just being careful, you're just watching out, the what if narrative, right? But if you're in your fantasy and you're saying, well, yeah, like I'm a queen, I'm a king, I'm God, I'm goddess, right? Oh no, you can't say that. Like, you need to get your head out of the clouds. It's like, it's still the same thing, right? It's legit still the same thing as if you were imagining something bad and then it ended up playing out because you concentrated your energy there. But if you're imagining something good, that thing can still play out. But the only thing that's stopping you, in my opinion, is because we as a society, as a collective, have been told, I keep hitting the wall over here, it's all good, I don't care, whatever. I'll be on the floor today, because I like it. So the only thing that we're programmed with is you have to look at reality, you have to look at logic. This is someone that knows better than you. You have to obey this, you have to obey that, right? Rules and laws, and I pledge allegiance to the motherfucking flag, bro. Like, I don't know, whatever country you're in, maybe you don't have that, but I mean, we sure should do, or maybe you have something similar. Okay. Ooh, Miss Pickles, welcome to the chat, gorgeous. Good to see you. I'm glad you have your grape drink. I love grape drink. I love the Kool-Aid, the squeeze, or like there was one called Squeeze It. So I don't know if they still make it, but it looks like the Kool-Aid one, and they were both a similar concept where it's like a squeezable thing, and it's like kind of a phallic shape, and you squeeze it and the juice comes in your mouth. I like that for a lot of reasons. But anyway, so the only law that you have to keep in mind is that you get what you say it is. So if you say that this magic toilet bowl is going to grant you all your wishes every time you sit your ass cheeks upon it, that's what's going to play out. That's it. Okay, so where do things come from? Okay, so let's say something appears out of nowhere, right? $10 million appears in your bank account out of fucking left field, out of nowhere. You can't account for it. What you're programmed, what motherfuckers are typically programmed to do is like, thank you, Fashion Reboot. I appreciate you. You're beautiful too. Thank you for joining. Yes, I did IV, or is that number 4 in Roman numeral? I don't know. Yes, I did manifest the black toilet bowl. I posted a pic of that a while ago. So yeah, I did that. And then I manifested a pink one weirdly after. The pink one was in a salon I went to, which I was totally not expecting. But yeah, it was what it was. So yeah, fantasy color toilet bowls apparently are my thing, because I'm always talking about toilets, right? So why would I not manifest that? Okay, so let's say you have toilet bowl. Okay, thank you, Sarah, appreciate you. So when you are when you're having an internal narrative, if you the same thing for like a lucky trinket, okay, a lucky rabbit's foot, right? We've all heard a story, the lucky rabbit's foot. Oh, my AI summary bot is here. We're discussing manifesting and the law of attraction. Yes, we are. AI bot, thank you for joining. So when you are saying that something is bringing you luck or something is doing something for you, it's not that that thing is doing anything. The magic toilet is neutral, just like any third dimensional circumstance, but you are the one that is charging up with your God spotlight, your conscious awareness on it, and you are assigning it a meaning. Magic toilet bowl. I want to, you know what I get? I want to get a toilet bowl pendant, and this could be matte black. Fuck yeah. And I want it to be light up LED, because I don't know why, I'm weird. So anyway, so when you are concentrated on the thing, you are assigning the meaning to it. You're saying this magic toilet bowl, every time I place my cheeks upon this throne, I always get what I want, right? Then that's what's going to play out for you. Not because the toilet bowl is doing anything, it's because your intention for the toilet bowl was to grant you your wishes. Okay, so it's the same principle. So when anyone sits there and they tell you, you know, okay, I want to do this, or I want to do that, or you should do this, or you should do that, or this motherfucker had a success story in 3 days and that motherfucker had a success story in 10 days, and you're looking at all of that, that's too much mind chatter. Okay, because you're going to get what you want, and it can come from out of nowhere, but it really didn't come from out of nowhere, it came from you. So $10 million deposited in my bank account. How to get there? Yeah, logically, okay, to circle back around to that, the ego is trained to like look for how did that thing come into your bank account. Like you have to look into it, you have to like question it, okay? Whereas manifestation is like, the thing came from me. How can it not come from me? Because I said that every time I sit upon the magic toilet bowl, $10 million is deposited in my bank account. And if at first you don't see it, what do? If at first you don't see the thing, and this is my opinion, what is the persistence? You either like, okay, you don't care, or you just say, oh, it doesn't matter, because the narrative that you have, every time I sit upon my magic toilet bowl, $10 million is deposited in my bank account. That's persisting. You persist in your mind, okay, if you are going to do that. But persistence, in my opinion, only needs to be done if you find yourself thinking against the thing. That's where you would persist. You would remember the new story, okay? You would remember the new story and you would just go back to that. So part of it, you know, in my opinion, there are no rules, but you want to be mindful. What is the narrative that you want to see play out? Just remain faithful. Don't cheat on the mental narrative that you want. Do not cheat on the narrative that you want with the unfavorable narrative. Don't look at the circumstances, okay? So where did the thing come from? Yes, okay, you're single, okay? You're whatever the fuck it is. You're saying I'm married, okay? You're single. Ain't not a motherfucker in sight, but you keep saying I'm married. That's it. I don't know. You're not even on a dating app, twin. You just like, I'm married. I'm happily married. Yep, with my perfect partner too. Bro, that motherfucker is gonna be placed in your path. And where did they come from? It seemed like it came out of nowhere, but it didn't come from out of nowhere. It came from you. Just like the $10 million in your bank account. Okay, yeah, I have 10 million Lex. Yes, it is. Mixed with some coffee, regular coffee. So it's like, you can't question where did it come from, because questioning is the realm of the ego, because the ego is trying to figure out, I need to get to point Z. I am at point A right now, so I have to figure out logistics and time. No, that is not what manifestation is. So anyone that is sitting there telling you, oh, this is one of my favorites, okay? Thank you, War. Appreciate you. The thing that I'm like, when there's someone in the manifestation community and they're saying, oh, what you need to do is, if you want to have an income, you have to open a business or you have to find an avenue. No, motherfucker. Jesus did not say I have to find the way. He said I am the motherfucking way, biatch. And what is that? That's just a metaphor for Christ consciousness, which is, you know, how the all that is empowers the physical vessel. It's through Christ consciousness. It's through, you know, awareness that is beyond the senses of the humanoid vessel, because you're not a human. Which led me to my second point, which I'll just get into before I get in and chat with you guys for a little bit, and then we'll go into another mini sermon. You're not a fucking human. What is a human? A human is the name for the vessel. Is that who you are? Are you the vessel? You have an awareness of the vessel. You have an awareness, okay, yeah, you call it my body, right? But is it your body? Like, you get to pilot it around, right? It's your avatar, but that's not who you are. So yes, it's a body that you're piloting around in third dimensional space, but you're not the body, because if you were the body, you wouldn't have an awareness of anything but the body. And that's what, in my opinion, the ego mindset is, right? The ego mindset, what we're programmed to believe is like the ultimate reality, is just something that we've been taught. It's a construct that we've been taught since fucking birth, okay? You are you, I am me, this is that is this, whatever, okay? So when you're programmed as per parameters of the game to say that, you know, things are separate and you have to look at the outside and you can't be like too much in your mind, then yeah, you're going to be used to that. So anything that seems to contradict that narrative, like, what do you mean? I can just assume it in my mind. I don't have to lift a finger. Things can just materialize out of nowhere. The thing did not materialize out of nowhere, because you are that thing. Above and beyond. I just posted a video about this in my members section on my YouTube, but it's basically, I had this epiphany, okay? I had this epiphany. It's like, you're not even to call someone, right? I am the Lord and there is none else. Yes, great. But even to say the word God, this is God, that is still from the ego's perspective. You're still looking at it from the ego, because the ego is saying, well, this is God consciousness. That is not, right? But really the all is just everything. It's every possibility. So there is no separation. It just is it. And when you come to realization that things don't come from out of nowhere. They come because they come. Not like that. Well, maybe sometimes if you want them to, but things show up, okay? Things show up, things present themselves because there's an awareness of the thing. And you don't need to do anything else but just be aware of the thing. And as long as you're not looking in lack from the ego perspective of like, oh, well, I don't have the thing, then the thing has no choice but to materialize. This is why like all these manifestations that seem like they're out of the blue are instant. It's like, dog, they're not out of the blue. You created it in physical format because you had an awareness of it in the ethers, okay, from the all that is. That's it. There's nothing, and like, you know, here's another thing where they say like a reality co-creation, like, yes, you're creating kind of like what you want to experience in the 3D, but the thing has already been created. So even that term is kind of null and void, okay? And this was the epiphany that I came to the other day because I was watching my bad boy Osho, because I love me some Osho. Oh my God. Oh, I love Osho, okay? So he basically was the one that gave me that. Well, I mean, I saw that idea, but it clicked with me where he was saying that we are pure consciousness. Like, you can't even label something as God. And it made that click for me. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. So you, like, when you understand that, like, everything is all at once, and it cannot even be articulated as God. It's like, if everyone and everything exists simultaneously, nothing appears out of nowhere. Things appear because they were already in existence, and what you did, you just didn't contradict it from the ego's perspective, because the only thing that can contradict pure awareness is an awareness that there is something other than awareness. Whoa, that is fucking weird. That is so fucking weird. Thank you, Paris. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Glad you love the nails. I got my navy blue cat eye. Or sapphire. I think it's like sapphire. So when you are realizing that the only contradiction is coming from the ego, which is, it's part of the parameters of the game. And yes, in the way that like we speak in the manifestation community, it's like you're kind of like consciously co-creating because you're placing the ego, right? It's like, sure, the mechanics, the operating system, but beyond that, you're not even the operating system. So this is why when you think of something that has appeared automatically and instantaneously, it didn't appear automatically and instantaneously. It was already there, but your ego didn't have a wall up saying, no, this thing is not here, or how can this thing be here? Because the questioning, the why is it here, the how is it here, but looking at that it's not here, that is the only thing that is standing in between you and the thing already been made manifest. So, oh, my AI summary says a spiritual talk on manifestation and ego. Share your thoughts. So we're not manifesting anything other than getting the ego on board in alignment with the thing that already is, the isness. Okay, this is, I recommend to everyone, read the Kabbalion, the all. The name of this chat is called the all. Okay, this is what I like to call it, the all-encompassing power source. Okay, it does not shut off. It always is. So everything that you can see in your awareness, it's like the all. Okay, let me break it down. What is the all? Oh shit, I feel like we're going now. Oh snap. Yes, Fatih Fleur. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Yes, it's a book. It's called The Kabbalion, and it's written by the 3 initiates. It's kind of written in old-timey language, but I really, really enjoy it. And in my opinion, it's like next to the Bible, next to the God Academy, next to Ramtha, the White Book by Jay-Z Knight. Those are like my top favorites of like, oh shit, like yeah, I love it. Of course, Fatih. Okay, so yeah, I think they have it, just a heads up, they do have it on, like, you don't have to pay for it. They have whatchamacallit, like it's a PDF. The last time I checked, there was like a free download, so you can download it, and they also have people reading it on YouTube for free. So if you don't want to buy the book, if you prefer to just listen to it, you could do that also. Ooh, I see Cheryl. What is up, girl? Hey, gorgeous. Thank you for joining. Good to see you. So when okay, so I was explaining the Kabbalion and the all. Okay, so the all is everything, everyone. It's just everything. It's all time, it's all dimensions, and nothing can be taken from it. Because think about that, think about the paradox, right? Nothing can be taken from the all, because then it wouldn't be the all. If you can subtract from the all, it cannot, like it's all encompassing. You cannot, even from the humanoid perspective, wrap your awareness. I mean, maybe if you're hanging out with Dimitri and you have like a blast off, you can get glimpses of it. And even then, it's like hard to explain a situation like that after you come out of it, right? But it's just like an eternal presence, which cannot be taken from you and it cannot be articulated. So that's why when you think of homie homes and then they call you a split second later, how is that explained? Okay, sure. Logic is well, this is called thought transmission, and you thought of them, and okay, cool. Like let's go with that. But it's beyond even what thought transmission is. It's because you are the homie that you thought about. So if you're summoning the homie into your awareness, they're you. They're there. That's why they showed up right away. Okay, that's like the $10 million, the I'm already married, and all of that shit. The person, the money, everything can appear out of nowhere, but it's not appearing out of nowhere because it's already in existence, because it's part of the all. And you are part of the all, because the all is the all, right? It's everything, it's everyone. So nothing can be separate from the all. So that's why in the Kabbalion, what they talk about is, hello Gato, welcome to the chat. So when the Kabbalion says the all is mind, the universe is mental, the all is universes beyond universes. It's every parallel reality. It's like if you have a fantasy in your mind, let's call it a fantasy because that's what they would call it in egoistic terms. You have a fantasy about dragons and unicorns and all of this shit that someone would call, science fiction, fantasy, whatever. You can see it in your mind. Oh, you best believe that shit exists because it's the all. So if that is the all and nothing can be separate from the all, and you imagined it and you are the all, the unicorn and the dragon cannot be separate from you. They can't. So anything that you can imagine, it's already in existence in a multitude of different realms and dimension. Hey Trey Shala, thank you for joining, beautiful. Good to see you. So the all always exists. It's omnipotent. It's everything, right? So the all is mind. So you want to think of it as the all is mind imagining and experiencing itself. The universe is mental, right? So the universe, the thing that we call the universe, right, is still a part of the all, but from this humanoid perspective. And not that you're the humanoid, right? Because you're not a humanoid. You're piloting a humanoid vessel, but you have awareness that there's more to it. At least everyone in the chat does. You know what I mean? Like, because you have the awareness of, manifestation, all this stuff, things that don't necessarily meet the two physical eyes. Like you all, the real MVPs, you have the awareness of this, okay? So the universe is mental means that you mentally configure what you want to from the fractal, this human experience. You have the conscious awareness. Okay, yeah, if I can pick and choose things from the mind of the all to have demonstrated in my 3D in physical format, then that is mental, right? It's like mental. The mental, it's like you're aware that you're in your mind. This is what I'm imagining, okay? But the all is mind. So you're taking from the mind of the all, you're mentally focusing on it with your humanoid mind, and then it gets projected into the hologram that we call the 3D Earth matrix, okay? So nothing is separate from you, which I think I'm going to kind of segue more into that because, like, yes, of course, I am the Lord and there is none else. That's what that means. But even the word Lord or God, it's like that's still, it ain't no match for the all, because the all is indescribable. This is why, okay? And I know that all of you in here have had at least several instances of this where you just knew something was going to happen and it didn't process as fear, it didn't process as anger, it didn't process as like joy, ecstasy. It was just, I know this is going to happen. Boom, this shit happens. And it was calm, right? Because you just knew it. Soliana, yes, I do, mentor. I have links in my bio if you're interested in checking that out. Thank you for joining the chat. So, this live, if you're talking about this live in particular, it'll be up, but like my recent lives are already up on the YouTube, which is linked in my bio. So if you want to check those out. Oh, Lord Jesus, there's a fire. What the fuck was I saying? See, this is why I like, whenever I do the sermon, I don't do like the chat because then I get distracted. But wait, hold on. The live stream, the chat, the all, the universe is the all. Okay, yes. There we go. Okay, back on track, I think, hopefully. Let me intend that it is so. Okay, so we're back on track, okay? So when we are saying that something is God, okay, it's still encompassed in like a humanoid format, right? We're putting a label on it, right? But the all is really, it's not even the all. It's just, it's beyond awareness, okay? So this is why, like, when you just know, that's where I was going. When you just know something is going to happen, that cannot be explained. It's like, oh, someone's going to call it a coincidence. Someone's going to call it a synchronicity. Whatever, someone's going to call it thought transmission. But it really is beyond that. It's like, it's coming from the all because everything already exists in the all. So if you think of an individual and your ego doesn't have a story that contradicts your interactions with this individual, yes, it's going to happen instantaneously. Okay? So, let's see. I'm gonna get to the chat in a second. Let me just finish this train of thought, okay? Because I said I was gonna do a brief intermission, but you know, when I get to chirping, you know, my third house, Mercury, fuck yeah, he just keep going and going. He like the Energizer Bunny. This is why, like, when I channel, it's like sometimes I can't because it's like psh, it's so fast because everything is instant, and then my mouth can't keep up with my mind. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so anyway, cool. So you can't articulate those type of events. Like, sure, you can say thought transmission, you can say synchronicity, you can say coincidence, whatever the fuck you're calling it, okay? But it's really because the all, that conscious awareness I just spoke of, if everything is all at once and there are no limitations, there are no distractions, that's why you have the instantaneous manifestation. So someone asked in here, they were talking about if thought transmission is instant. Yes, but if thought transmission is instant, okay, which it is, but your ego is still having an awareness. Oh yeah, I'm sending this motherfucker telepathic messages. Oh, but what if they don't receive them? What if it doesn't work? Oh, but they're not like this. Oh, but they're probably too stubborn. You see, it's an interference in the transmission. So yes, thought transmission is instant, so they can think that. Now the question is, are they going to act on it in 3D where you're going to have proof that they got it instantaneously? Yes. If you have no resistance, if you don't have a contradicting story, awareness of that individual, it's going to be instant. That's why someone, your best fucking homie, Meemaw, Peepaw, okay? Someone that you have no resistance to. You're like, yeah, they love me. They would do anything for me. But yeah, you think of them and they going to get that instantaneous, you're going to see action from them, likely, okay? But if it's someone where you're like, they're in love with me, they're obsessed with me, oh my God, but what if they don't call? But what if this doesn't work? But they're in love with me, they're obsessed with me. You see, it's two conflicting signals. So they're getting both. So that thought transmission in and of itself is instant. They're like, yeah, I love them, but you know what, I'm not gonna, fuck that. I'm not gonna reach out first. Because you fucking said that, okay? And that's like also when you have, when you're asking advice from individuals, right? Because I can tell you, I had a fucking panel of advisors at a certain point in my experience. Like, I had like 10 motherfuckers on speed dial. Anything would go on, I'd be like, yo, what you think of this? I would get 10 different answers, but the answers that I got from the 10 different individuals, it was still specific to a story from them, because I had a story about that individual. So even the individuals that you're getting advice from, it's not really advice, it's you asking you. And maybe sometimes in those moments you just want to vent, or you want to hear it from someone else, or maybe the way someone else articulates something makes it click for you. But it's still you. It's still you. So even when you're asking advice to all the homies, but the person, they posted this, or the person, they didn't show up for work today, or this or that, what do you think? You have a story about the individual that you're asking that question to. You either say, this is my BFF, this is Meemaw, this is Peepaw, whoever the fuck it is. You have a story about them, and you have a story about their personality, because you're creating their personality. Yeah, you fucking are. You're creating the personality of even motherfuckers that you've known since birth. Oh, but they were always like that. Yeah, they were always like that because you had maybe an experience with them and you just accepted it. And then now they're always like that. Cool. So you could even rewrite the script for motherfuckers that you've known since birth. Okay, you can do it, because it's still just a story. So, I digress. I always fucking do, but it's all good. Okay, this is how my mind be. I'll be like all into like different areas at once. It's cool. But anyway, so you have a story about the individual that you're asking advice from. So let's say you have a friend, and they just no nonsense, they ain't about the bullshit, and you're like, oh, so this motherfucker posted that pic and blah 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 blah, what do you think? Right, let's just go with that. They posted a pic, you don't know what the fuck it means, so you ask this person, and you're like, yeah, they're no nonsense, they're no bullshit, they just give it to you raw, and they give it to you rough. Okay, and they're like, yeah, fuck that motherfucker, fuck them, you're too good for them, you don't need that. You're already expecting that answer, because that's the story that you have about the person that you're asking advice from. Just like now, let's say you have another homie, and this homie is like, they're very soft spoken, and they're very like, they want to hear you out. They're looking at both ends of the spectrum. You're like, yo, what you think that so and so posted this picture? What you think? They're like, well, you don't know the meaning of why they posted that. Maybe they posted it to make you jealous. Maybe they did it because they were bored. You don't know. Give them a chance. Wait it out. Just see. You know what I'm saying? So you have a story about that motherfucker that they're going to give you that type of answer, but you have a story that they're going to give you this type of answer. So it's like you have stories about the individuals even that you're asking advice from. And they're still you, because like I said, nothing can be separate from the all, so they are you. Even the tarot readings and the psychic readings, okay, you still are carrying like a dominant expectation with it. Okay, when you go into the reading, yes, if you want to get a reading, I don't have an issue with that. I know some motherfuckers in the law of attract, whatever, manifest, whatever the fuck you want to call this community, they be like, oh no, if you knew, then you wouldn't need to ask. Like, okay, but what if someone makes something click? The way that I saw that video from Osho. Ooh, thank you for the gift, appreciate you. So it's kind of like, if you're getting advice from a psychic advisor or a tarot card reading, which in my opinion there's nothing wrong with, because it's just advice, right? But you still have a perception, even if you don't know the reader, and you just kind of, you book a session randomly. There's still a story that you have going on about the questions that you're going to ask in the reading. So it's still going to be reflected to you, but maybe they'll say something in a way where it clicks, just like I saw that video with Osho, and he was like, you can't even call anything God. There is no God, because the thing that you call God is even beyond the scope of what the humanoid can perceive as God from that perspective. So it's like, there's stories about everything and they're all you. Okay, now, do I think you should not ask advice? Do I think you should not get tarot? I don't know, man. I'm not you. But I will tell you that be mindful, just go into it like you want to ask a tarot reader, you want to ask me more people, your best homie, like, yo, what do you think of this situation? It's like, just set the intention that they're going to say something that's going to click for you to have like an aha moment. That's it. Because you wouldn't be asking them, okay, maybe sometimes you ask because you want some sort of like emotional comfort, or you know what I mean, you just want to vent. Like, yes, it's understandable. I'm not saying don't do that, okay? But go in with the intention that that conversation is going to serve you and make something click for you so that you elevate in consciousness. So yes, you can ask advice from other people, but be mindful, like, to be like, okay, well, I have a story that this person is soft-spoken. I have a story that this motherfucker, they're a little blunt. So you're already kind of knowing what they're going to say, but just say they're going to say something that's going to click. That's it, whatever it is. Because you wouldn't be guided to ask advice from anyone if there wasn't a message in there for you, right? But now, here's my thing. Okay, and I know I said I was going to get to chat. I'm going to get to the chat in like a second here, I guess. A little more than a second. Time doesn't exist. But, okay, but this is important. And I'm like kind of fired up. Okay, so here's the thing, right? There's a difference, okay? And especially when it comes to manifesting a person. Motherfuckers get hell-bent out of shape talking about the circumstance and complaining about the motherfucker, right? Tearing motherfucker 6 new assholes. They're like, but they. And it's like, whoa. But they ain't all that. I don't even know why I want them. I'm too good for them. Oh, and you wonder why they ain't hitting you up? Because you just said they ain't all that. You're too good for them. So what do you think they're getting? If that's your dominant story, that's great. You are the Lord and there is none else. You're the fucking best. But like, if you're saying that, you're alienating yourself from that motherfucker and they're getting that thought transmission. So you answer your own fucking question. So before you ask, you already know the answer. And if you don't, you can just see, what is my dominant story about this individual? You're looking too much at the 3D circumstance. And so you want advice, right? You're looking at the circumstance. Okay, but this motherfucker, blah, blah, blah. You're complaining. You're saying this, that, and the third. You're going all out talking about the circumstance. You placing the circumstance of that motherfucker on the pedestal, along with that motherfucker on the pedestal. So where are you? You're like a fan. You're looking up at them like a fucking groupie. You're looking at circumstance and you're looking at home skillet. Like you're a fucking groupie in your own reality, because you are the Lord and there is none else. You are the all, which cannot be articulated, but yet you zeroed in on a motherfucker and a motherfucking circumstance, and you're like, you have the story right there of why they have not conformed. In your complaints about them, you have the motherfucking story. Don't fucking lie to me. You can lie to yourself, but you ain't gonna lie to me about it, and you fucking know it. You fucking know it. So the next time you wanna text the homie to complain, call the homie to complain, go grab a coffee with the homie to complain and talk about this motherfucker and the circumstance, what were you gonna tell your friend? This motherfucker not calling me. Well, there you go. That's your dominant story. So we figured out why they're not calling you, because you fucking said so. And because you're the only conscious awareness, they have no choice but to abide by the story that you're saying about them. But you're not aware until you are. Ooh, and once you are aware, that door doesn't shut. Okay, it could maybe blow in the breeze occasionally, and you might not be able to see clearly into the other room, but that door doesn't shut. Once you come to that awareness, it does not shut. So before you call the vent, what am I venting about? Oh, the circumstance. So why do we say in the manifestation community, circumstances don't matter? And anyone that says this, that knows the law, I 1,000,000 infinitely agree with that statement. My AI summary, friend, is back. A deep dive into how our stories shape our advice seeking. What's your take? Okay. Thank you, AI summary. Appreciate you. Okay. So before you go venting to someone and complaining about the circumstance don't matter, okay? And why doesn't it matter? Because the reason I just said, because if you are truly conducting yourself as the all, okay, then you know what's happening is that you are the circumstance, right? You're everything. So all you have to do to neutralize the circumstance is to just look in the opposite direction. All opposites are reconciled. Like and unlike are the same thing, different degree. The problem and the solution are one and the same. So you balance the scale. Reality Transurfing, another book I'd recommend. This one's like a lengthy read, and it's like kind of scientific, but it's really good too. They have videos of individuals reading it on YouTube as well. Okay, so you're looking at the circumstance and you're complaining about it, but that's the narrative you're going with. Motherfucker ain't calling you. Why aren't they texting? Well, I mean, maybe because you saying they ain't texting and calling you. You saying the circumstance. They live in Austria. I'm in New Zealand. Okay? But if the all is all time and all space all at once, Austria, New Zealand, does that really matter? It doesn't matter, does it? That's why circumstances don't matter. This is why I'm telling you, the thing does not appear out of nowhere. It appears from you because you decide to change the internal narrative mind first. And the quote 3D reality, it had to follow. It had to. Because you are it. So once you shift the ego's perception of awareness, the God spotlight, the mental image, once you shift that, the circumstance dissolves because you're not looking at it. So yes, theoretically, the circumstance exists in all time because every timeline that you can imagine exists, but you're not placing your energy on it. So it's like you're in a dark room, okay, and you have a flashlight, and this flashlight is your awareness, the God spotlight. And in the dark room, you don't see nothing, right? Your eyes can adjust maybe a little bit to the dark, but you're not going to see it the way it's lit up, right? You're going to see it differently. So you take out the handy dandy fucking flashlight and you looking at sock on the floor. What else exists in that dark room if your flashlight is focused on the sock on the motherfucking floor? To your awareness in that now moment, nothing. Try this experiment. Try it. Go shut all the fucking curtains, close the doors, shut off all the lights, put a sock on the floor, take out a flashlight, just make sure the room is completely dark. We don't want no twilight up in this bitch, you know what I'm saying? Okay? Complete darkness. You take out the flashlight. Oh, what do I see? The sock. Everything else in the room is now, it's like less visible to you because you're spotlighting, highlighting, honing in on the sock on the fucking floor. That's it. That's the same motherfucking way that this reality fucking works, because you have a fractal, the all, that is powering up the vessel, experiencing itself as a vessel format that's playing around in tangible things, okay? So from this vantage point, you see with your two eyes what you see first with your third eye. The third eye is like the spotlight, like the flashlight seeing the sock on the fucking floor. So you looking at the circumstance, you're saying, I'm in New Zealand, motherfucking Austria. Okay, so the whole rest of the fucking planet, the whole rest of the planet ceases to exist because you just focus on Australia and Austria, bro. It don't fucking matter, okay? Pick two countries, okay? I love Australia. I have a fascination with Australia. I've never been, but holla, I will be going to the Gold Coast at a certain point. Fuck yes, okay? So, you concentrated, they in Austria, you in New Zealand. New Zealand is close to Australia. You see, it always brings me back there, right? I must have had like several past lives in Australia. I know I did actually. But anyway, so the rest of the world, as they call it, ceases to exist because you focused on Austria and New Zealand. So That's it. You're like, but they're there, and you're not even focused on Austria and New Zealand are a part of the same planet, just like the sock on the floor is in the same darkened room as the chair that you want to sit on. Okay, they're both there, but you're so focused on the sock on the floor, the chair just doesn't exist anymore because you're not looking at it. So it's like the rest of the world doesn't exist, but the rest of the world is there. It's just dimmed out because you're focused. Australia, New Zealand. Austria, what the fuck, bro? Someone here from Australia, what's up? Holla, how's you doing? So you're focused on that, and then you're saying, oh, they're so far away, and that's what you're highlighting, the distance between Austria and New Zealand. So if distance is being spotlighted by your awareness, okay, everything is there. The motherfucker is already with you. Time doesn't exist. Space doesn't exist. It exists simultaneously all at once. Therefore, it doesn't exist at all. There's no contradiction to the existence of it, because there cannot be a contradiction, because everything is the all. So you from the eagle perspective, as a fractal awareness coming from the all, are looking at it and you're like, but there's a distance between Austria and New Zealand, so therefore I cannot be with this person. That's what you're going to get more of. So to bring it back around again, okay, we're going on a merry-go-round all around the mulberry bush, okay? What we're doing when we do something like that, because I've fucking done it. I sure as shit have fucking done it. Focus on a circumstance. Fuck yes, I fucking have. And ain't nothing wrong with that. It's just now that I'm in the awareness that, like, okay, the circumstances, it really doesn't matter. And I've been proving that time and time again, okay? You just look at what you want, bro. The way will be fucking made. Jesus said, I am the way. He didn't say, I gotta, call this motherfucker and then they're gonna chauffeur me over here and then from there I'm gonna catch my flight. No, he just said, I am the way. Boom. You break down barriers of time and space when you go right to the thing. This is why, in my opinion, okay? In my opinion, there's a debate when individuals talk about, should you manifest in steps or should you go right to the end? Like, what steps? Right? You're coming from the all, okay? What? Bro, what the I got some weird pop-up. I never seen that pop-up before. Some weird shit. Like, they think my camera's off. Like, I don't know what the fuck. That was weird. Whatever. Broke the algorithm some fashion. So, whatever. That's the meaning. I'm gonna sign it anyway. I don't know what the fuck that was. But listen, okay? If you are focused on a circumstance, okay? You're just hyping that up, okay? You're hyping up the circumstance, and should you manifest in steps, steps make logical sense. They do. I'm not gonna lie. They do. They make logical steps, right? Because you're gonna think, okay, well, you start off as like an employee, then you become the store manager, then you become the regional manager, right? Yeah, it makes fucking sense. But we're not doing no logic up in this motherfucker. We living in Delulu land. Only we're delusioning the shit that we want, not the shit that we've been taught to want. So, should you manifest in steps? Okay. No, because that's still focusing on the circumstance. That's just my opinion. You can do whatever the fuck you want. But when someone says you should manifest in steps, I don't see why, okay? And this is why, and some individuals, they're just so dead set on like, oh, but I can't see the full picture. Okay, then if it's really triggering for you to imagine the end, fine. But like, for me, that's why whenever anyone asks me, what do? I go, bro, there is nothing off limits to me. And motherfuckers be like, how is that gonna happen? Well, it already happened, so it doesn't matter the how now, does it? Neville Goddard, Barbados story. Abdullah. Door slam in your face, motherfucker. Like, well, it's already happened, so how you asking me how? This is not logic. This is manifesting. This is things that we don't see tangibly. We see it in our mind, and the thing is created. It seems like it's created because it's already created, but we're tuning our awareness to be caliber, our physical vessel calibrated to that timeline, right? But the thing has already been created. So you don't need to worry about the house. So if you're manifesting in steps, it's like you're the one that added steps. And here's furthermore another paradox, which a lot of shit in manifestation seems like a contradiction. It's like, bro, there is no end, right? So even when Neville Goddard, and I love me some Neville Goddard, okay? Really started understanding this shit when I discovered Neville Goddard, okay? Go right to the end. But there is no end, because remember, the all is infinite. It's all time, it's all space, it's everything. So it's like, that's your goal for maybe this moment in time. But then once you get the thing, you're at the end. It doesn't stop. You continue on being. So then what's the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, right? It doesn't shut off. So it's like, yes, living in the end of your current goals in this moment in time, sure. But then once you buy the mansion, then maybe you want to buy a second property. You see, it doesn't stop. So it's like, think of, I would go with, you know, right from this now moment, what do you imagine every sector of your life to look like? Oh, my AI summary friend, discussing how circumstances is an illusion from an all-awareness perspective. Am I still the only one that can see this AI bot in here? I love it. I'm gonna give him a nickname at a certain point. But anyway, so my AI friend is here. Did you send me that pop-up, AI friend? Did you? Because that was a weird pop-up. I don't know what it is, but I'm assigning the meaning that it broke the algorithm. I jumped a timeline because I'm the only assigner of meanings, because I'm the Lord, there is none else. Okay, so when you're imagining, okay, because whenever anyone asks what do I do, bro, I go right to what do I envision right now as pure perfection in every area. I go in with every area. This is what it is, this is what it is, this is what it is. In every single app, I'm like, this is my ideal. Boom, a day in the life. I'm in it. I don't do steps. Fuck that. Right? I don't think I've ever done steps. I've just done visuals, and the shit just, it just happened. How did it happen? I couldn't even tell you. From a logical perspective, because here's the thing that I personally have noticed as well. When the manifestation is occurring, it's going to seem like it's natural. It's not going to be natural to you. Let me clarify, natural to you, right? Because you're the only creator of your experience. So for me, shit really goes down quite interestingly. It goes down fast. It goes down magically. And when I tell motherfuckers about things that they're like, how did that happen? I don't know. It happened through me because I materialized it, so I know how it happened. To piggyback off of what, you know, I said earlier about the how is you, right? So if things appear out of nowhere, how did it happen? It appeared out of nowhere on 3D paper, but how did it really happen? It happened through me, and it just appeared. So if you're someone who, and I talk about this too, if you're someone who's more logically inclined and you're like, you know, I don't know, like, but if I want $20 million, I need to open a business, then you're creating that, right? Because like, again, I said in the beginning, the law is the law, the law is neutral. If you're creating rules, I have to manifest in steps, I have to affirm, I have to visualize, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to open a business to receive the money, I have to go on a dating app to meet the person, I had to go to the gym to get the ideal body. You're doing that and all of that. And if you're the only observer in your experience, you're the only conscious awareness, then those things are gonna have to play out in the way that you expect. So me, from when I manifest, I just visualize. And if I notice in the 3D that it's not, but I don't force myself to visualize. Here's the thing. I visualize because it's fun, because I enjoy it. And I listen to my trance music and I visualize a day in life, every fucking area. I'm not just honed in on one specific area. I'm like, this is a day in the dream life. That's what it is. And then when I get the thing, then I'm like, okay, what else now? What else? You know what I mean? So it's like it's really up to you, because you're making the only rules. But the simplest thing is that you really don't need to do shit, but just say, this is what I want. And whatever is comfortable for you, whether you want to script it out, whether you want to visualize it, whether you want to say an affirmation, whether you want to just decide, that's up to you. But don't force yourself to do something because someone else said that it worked for them. Okay, what technique worked for you? How long did it take? Like dog, don't compare yourself to anyone else. You're you. No one else is your awareness. So someone might not be able to visualize. It might be uncomfortable for them. Does that mean they can't manifest? No. Then maybe they just decide. Maybe they just script it out. I don't fucking know. But I don't question how the manifestation comes. And when the manifestation comes, what else I was saying, when the manifestation and you mingle in the 3D, right, it's going to seem like it was natural. So for me, I'm used to things happening magically out of nowhere. Suddenly. Okay, I like speed. I'm okay with speed. I'm okay with fingers. I don't know how to snap my fingers. And I don't care neither. I know it's a story I'm telling, but, you know, I don't care to snap my fingers. I just make little fun noises with my nails. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's like snapping. But it's not. It's just because I don't care, right? So things for me out of the blue, like, how did that just happens? Yeah, it did. But it's natural in the way that it just happens for me because I'm already calibrated to like shit like that. You see, so if you're more logical, then there's gonna likely be a logical like story that plays out. For me, like, bro, it's like magic. We pulling rabbits out of a hat. Now you see it, now you don't. Here it is. Boom. How did it appear? I don't know, man. Came through me. I'm the way. Okay, so that's why I don't. Hey, Sugar Shay. What is up, gorgeous? Thank you for joining. So that's where, you know, I like to tell everyone to remember who the fuck you are. You know, the Lord and there is none else, but also you have a different, you know, baseline than me or your neighbor or your best homie or me more people. You're different. So you have to do what works for you. But your manifestations, if you notice, the ones that you've consciously, you know, created in your mind, not created, but tuned into in your mind, you know what I mean? They just played out and it was like it was meant to happen. All of the manifestations, because the way that this reality matrix is constructed is like you kind of have to believe that it's real to an extent, so it's not going to play out necessarily in a way where it's you know, you think of a pink elephant, all of a sudden a pink elephant is in your room, right? You know what I'm saying? Because that'd be a little hectic, wouldn't it? If every single thought you had appeared out of nowhere. No. So there's kind of like, oh, my puzzle piece. I was talking for a fucking hour. Okay, I'm gonna get to the chat. I've been saying I was gonna get to the chat for like a while now, but let me do my puzzle piece here. Let me just finish this thought. Okay, cool. So if every single thought you had was gonna manifest, that would be chaotic. That would be a little cray-cray. Okay, so that's why it's not even your thoughts necessarily that manifest. Yes, thoughts can become things if you're focused on them for a certain amount of time, if you've calibrated yourself to the naturalness of that thought, right? So if you're in a dominant state where you're like, you know, I'm lucky, everything always works out to my benefit, faster than I expect, better than I expected, that's who you are, right? You're not consciously thinking of it, but things still work out where you're lucky and things work out faster than you expect, better than you expect, because you're saying so. And that, so you don't even need to articulate it into a thought, right? Because the thought is still in isolation from the ego vantage point, saying this is a thought, this is an emotion, right? There's still, right? But the all is the all. So it's kind of like, okay, do thoughts and emotions really mean anything? I mean, they do, because they can help you have, you know, a more pleasant third dimensional experience. It helps you to articulate different things, but it's really not coming from a thought. It's coming from like who you are. This is what they talk about, state of being, the naturalness of the wish fulfilled. So when Neville was imagining that he was in Barbados, it was just, oh, I'm in Barbados. Like that was it. Like, yes, he articulated it with a thought. I'm in Barbados. Okay. But he still, in all of his sensory perceptions, was in Barbados, right? That's why it materialized. What did he do? He didn't lift a finger. So that's the whole thing that you want to keep in mind, that, you know, the reason why not every thought manifests is because it's not even your thoughts that are manifesting. It's just what your dominant awareness is. So, let's take a little intermission here. Let me get to the chat, because I was talking for, holy motherfucker. You see, this is where time doesn't exist. I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, it's this time? Wow. So anyway, how's everyone doing this morning, afternoon, evening, night? Andrea, is it Andrea or Andrea? How did you really know you are the god of your reality? I've just seen evidence of it. Before I knew about this stuff, I thought it was, I was psychic. So I was just like, oh, I'm psychic, because I would think about things or envision things and they would happen. But then when I started really seeing God of my reality, that I'm creating all this, it was fairly recent. It was maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And I don't know, like I said, like I can't even explain the series of events. You know what I mean? It's like, it just kind of happened naturally. And then I was just like, whoa, I'm creating this, I'm creating that, I'm creating this person, I'm creating that circumstance. It happened in kind of like a cascade of like different aha moments. So you thought you were psychic too? Well, here's the thing. It's like, I believe in psychic ability, right? So of course I'm going to see evidence of it. I do think psychic ability kind of goes hand in hand with like manifestation, but again, psychic is a label. But it's like there's still a certain awareness that you have, right? With being the all that is, right? So if you are everyone and everything, of course you're going to be in tune to something that's not necessarily right in front of you. Psychic ability, or it's just that's the way things naturally are. But the ego, because we're programmed from the place of the ego, that it's like, you know, we're programmed to believe that psychic ability is not real, right? But that's the naturalness. Psychic is natural. That's the baseline, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Karma, very intellectual with a twist of dark. You love it. Well, I'm glad you love it. Miss Osti, is that how you pronounce it? You're so pretty. Thank you. Gorgeous. You're so pretty too. Thank you for joining. All of you here in the chat are sexy ass motherfuckers. I know it. I already know it. So, I'm gonna attend to the chat for a little bit. So if anyone has any comments or questions, because like every time I get on a live, I'm like, oh my god, like I just chirp away. Oh, 1821X, you love the makeup and nails. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Lex, I've always believed in spiritual powers, so being psychic or a manifestor wasn't hard to accept. Oh yeah, exactly. Definitely. And kind of, because you're already open to things that are like not seen. So it's like, okay, you know, it's like kind of, I don't want to say easier, but it's like you're more just already in tune with that whole thing, you know? So, would you say that the subconscious is the most foundational aspect of reality? I would not, but that's just my opinion. The fun, because it's like subconscious is installation software, right? It's just a bunch of programs, in my opinion. Again, there's no right or wrong answer. But it's like it's like software for the humanoid vessel. Okay, so is that the fundamental basis of reality? No, it's what you're aware of. Okay, so if there's a subconscious belief running and you have no awareness of that belief, you're not knowing that there was a shit program, right? It's your awareness. So it's kind of like, I would say your dominant story, but your dominant story is not the subconscious, it's the all that is. So if you as a whole, right, your conscious and your subconscious mind, let's say they're married, they're incongruent, then that goes beyond conscious or subconscious mind. Okay, you don't have an awareness of mind, you don't have an awareness of a story, you don't have an awareness that there is a story. It's just like, I just know. Okay, like we're talking a little bit about psychic ability. So when you just know something, to me, that is more fundamental for reality co-creation. I'm not saying the subconscious mind isn't important, because like I said, there could be like programming in there, but you can be aware that you have some shit software running in that area, but still have a lightning bolt, a flash of intuition, and be like, this is going to happen. Yeah, there might be a shit story there. I might have that belief, but this is still happening. That's it. Pure knowing. It bypasses subconscious and conscious because it's just the all. It's everything. So it's like when you have a knowing, your conscious and your subconscious mind are just, they're immediately in congruence, and they're immediately silent because you know. So there's no subconscious, I feel. There's no conscious, I declare. It's just like they're already in cohesion with that. So there could be thoughts running amok. There could be emotions. But if you're like, well, I know this, it bypasses all of that. So knowing is in my opinion, it's like it silences the conscious and the subconscious mind. Now they're married, they're both shutting the fuck up because I know. So now what you gonna do? Yeah, there's this shit program. Cool, but I know. Just like you have a house that there's mold in it, right? You have an awareness that there's mold, okay? But you know that you're gonna get it fixed, or you're gonna tear down the wall that has mold, right? So the mold could be there, just like the shit program could be in the subconscious. And consciously, you're like, well, there's mold in here, but you know you're getting it fixed, so you don't give a shit. I don't know why that was the weirdest fucking analogy, but knowing to me is the ultimate. My queefing cup, don't we all love him? Yes, exactly. Knowing, because knowing it rectifies, right? Like and unlike are the same thing, different degree. So it's like you just know, and when you know something, there's no feeling, there's no thought, right? Like, yes, you can articulate it into saying, well, I know I felt calm. I know I just had that thought and I knew it. But it's beyond that. Like I said in the beginning, I don't know if you were here, in the beginning, but it was kind of like, oh, Lord Jesus, there's a fire. What the fuck did I say? In the beginning, I said the all, right? It's knowing. You cannot articulate what the all is, just like you can't really articulate what knowing is. That's why, like, when individuals, right, and I know you've seen this, right, where someone is like, how did you know that this motherfucker was like the one for you, right? It's like, across the board, they're like, I just knew it. And you can't describe that, right? You can describe it in a way, but it's a different sensation, right? Or when you just knew something was going to happen and you're like, yeah, I know that's happening. It's like, it processes completely different. And like everyone in here I know has had, like, experiences of where they just knew something, whether it's about a person or a situation, whatever. But the same thing, when you know, and it's indescribable, just like the all is indescribable. You can't articulate it. Like, yes, you can try. You can say the all is God. Is it really God, or is it, you know what I mean? Ooh, Ashley, good to see you, girl. Thank you. Welcome to the chat. So it's like it processes as a different thing, right? Ooh, thank you for the gift. Appreciate you. Love the roses. So yeah, that's what I think. I'm kind of contradicting it even there. That's what I know. Like, for me at least, it's like when you just know something, it's not subconscious, it's not conscious. It's like, whoosh. It's if we want to put a label on it, it's like super conscious. Yes, it's like super conscious energy, in my opinion. So yeah, it's just like, it is what it is, you know, like, but that's what it is. I know I'm sitting on the floor. Okay. I don't mind. I like sitting on the floor. It's cool. But I can't, like, what can I say? I can try to describe it, you know, but it's like a knowing. When you know something, it just is. It can't be taken from you. So that's why, like, this is how you can tell that your manifestation, it's already done, when you just know it and you don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? You just know. You're like, okay. It's done. And your subconscious, you might have a shit story about that thing. You're kind of, how's that going to happen? But you're like, yeah, I know. Okay, so this is me. I'm going to tell you honestly. Like, for me, I refuse to perform any physical actions in regards to something that I see in my mind unless it's inspired action. And inspired action, you're not going to know what it is. It's just going to, it's just going to be moved through you. That's a knowing. It's just like, why am I doing this? I don't know. I feel like it. Boom. And then shit appears, right? So I will refuse to do anything. Anything. in terms of my manifestation. Like, I just do what I do. Like, I mean, like, we're in bodies, right? So it's like, okay, sure, I'm taking a shower, I'm brushing my teeth, but am I doing anything to make my manifestation happen? Not from a third dimensional perspective. And that's where I'm at now. Like, I absolutely refuse. Even though logically it's like, well, how's this gonna happen? I'm like, well, I already know it's done, so I don't need to do shit. My AI friend is back. A philosophical discussion on oh my God, what is going on? A philosophical discussion on consciousness and intuition. Share your thoughts. Well, we are sharing our thoughts, aren't we, AI friend? So, I will not do anything. I absolutely will not do anything. Now, it's like, if you want something, you go in your mind and be in it, in your mind. That's all you really need to do. And if you're meant to do anything in the 3D, I promise you that action is just going to flow through you. You're not going to have to think shit about it. You're not going to have to overanalyze it. You're not going to have to call the panel of advisors, like I said in the beginning, to be like, what do you think of this? You know, you're just like, I know. So that's where, like, let's say you know, you want this motherfucker. They post some pic and you're like, you're not even gonna care. You're gonna see it, but you already know that you're with them. So the pic, why did they post it? I don't fucking know, man. It don't matter, because I'm already with them. You're gonna not care. You can be very nonchalant in the 3D. So what is everyone doing and drinking? Woohoo. Some comments in this live were filtered to protect the community experience. What is going on in the chat, you guys? What are we talking about? Some of the comments were filtered. Ho. Mango Daydream Refresher with marshmallow cold foam. Whoa, that sounds super exotic. What? Mango Daydream? What is that? Is that an adult beverage? Because if it is, I'm very interested in it. Love it. Now my straw's queefing. I don't know if you guys heard that, but you're waiting for Chinese takeout and you'll do a cut when you get... Oh, hell yeah, Cheryl. Thanks for joining me. I have my espresso, because I'm an Aries, martini cup water. I mix it in with some real coffee, you know what I'm saying? Ooh. Yeah, cut water is so good. I love it. Fuck yes. Since you... Ooh, whiskey sour. Oh, hell yeah, girl. We all about that. Since you were young, you were told saying something jinxes it. So when you speak what you want, you get so anxious. Well, that's a story. Yes, MJ and I are very, very, we're really good friends. So you don't want to go with a verbal story. You know what I mean? You want to, like, because remember, everything is you. So if you have the perception, if you talk about something and jinxes it, that's what you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Which is interesting. I saw a video on here like the other day, and I was like, I do not agree with that at all. And there was someone, and you know, it's their opinion, which I respect people's opinions. I don't need to agree with it. But someone was saying that if you talk about your desires, they're not going to happen, because now it's like there's too many hands in the pot and they're all thinking about your desire and they're making it like dissolve or some shit, because now you're inviting differing opinions in it. I'm like, that is so fucking false. Like, that to me is a limiting belief. Oh, if I talk about my desire, it's not going to happen. Yeah, if you believe that and perceive it. Oh, you stopped caring about that person this week? What? Oh, it feels like it's done. You don't care? Hell yeah, it is done. Exactly. Exactly. There is always movement. Whether you see it or not, and you don't want to label anything as the opposite or being stuck or that there's no movement, because you're just creating that, so you're creating the movement of no movement. But if you're thinking anything, if you're thinking, if I talk about my desire, I'm not going to get it because now someone else is projecting what they want to see onto it. That other person is you, so they cannot project anything onto your desire unless you give them permission to. So if anyone in the chat is concerned about that, oh, I spoke to my so-and-so person about the desire and they shit all over it. Okay, well, you, number one, you gave them permission to do that. If that is something, a point of contention within anyone, you know, what you would ideally want to do is be like, succeed. Everyone loves to see me successful. Everyone loves to see me healthy, wealthy, with the love of my life and my dream body. Everyone is always supportive of me. Boom. That's it. This way, it's kind of like you're setting the tone for everyone. And yes, this is true for even like me, more people, individuals that you've known your whole life since childhood. You can change them. Okay? You can change how you view a parent or a sibling that you've known your whole life, because I've spoken to individuals that have done it. I've done it. All you do is change your perception of them. It doesn't matter, okay? And let me tell you, once you make the decision, you're like, I'm only gonna see this person this way. That's it. It can happen like in a split second, okay? Here's where you wouldn't want to limit yourself. You would just want to be like, it's already done. If you find yourself looking at timing, it's already done. If you're saying, oh, but they're stubborn, well, you're saying that, so say they're easygoing. If you're saying they ghosted you, then you're going to say that they're obsessed with you. They're knocking on your door every fucking night. Like, that's it, you know? When you stop reacting to your parents' anger, they stop trying you. Well, there you go. That's it, because you perceive them different. You manifested some motherfucker last week. You read twice in 2020, and then oh my God. See, that's how fast it is. That is how fast it is. The obsessed thing goes crazy good and you love it. I'm your favorite on here. Aw, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining. These motherfuckers never go to where you want that guy. Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah, I mean, things are like randomly when we think of people and we don't have a story about them and we really don't care, they can show up in an instant. So it's kind of like if the individual is not showing up instantaneously, there still might be like a little snag of resistance, which then you would just say, you know what, it's already done, fuck this. The quickest way to neutralize something is to just really change the topic in your mind. So if you're thinking about someone and the lack of what they're doing or what they're saying or not saying, then you know what? Just be like, you know what? I'm going to change the topic. We're already together. That's it. Oh my God. Your past awful neighbor is now so nice. You called her sweetheart and she gave you away. Oh my God. I love that. You see, you could do this with anyone. You could literally do this with anyone. You got so sick of techniques. Yeah, I mean, techniques, they do work, but it's like you really can just make the decision and not think against it, and that would be enough, you know? So it really depends on the individual. It's like, okay, this is what I declare. I am the Lord and there is none else, so that it has to happen, you know? We changing the song. Okay, cool. So, you control that person too. Yeah, well, the thing, I don't know if I mean, I guess in a way it is kind of like controlled. Like some people call it like, you know, puppets or whatever, but it's really like if everyone is a branch of the all, an extension of the all, right? So you're not changing them. You're not changing the circumstance. You're changing the way you're viewing them. So it's really like you're changing your perception of them. And they're not doing anything, right? They're just neutral. Everyone and everything is neutral. No matter how it appears on paper, third dimensionally, everyone and everything is neutral. So if you keep that in mind, that they have to respond the way that you project onto them, you understand you're not changing them. So-and-so, okay. Monday, motherfucker is ghosting you. You decide on Tuesday, you know what, nah, they're blowing up my phone, they're obsessed with me. Wednesday, the shit happens. What happened there? Did they change, or did you change your perception of the events that were going on? Did you change your perception of them? Did you change your perception of the 3D? And this is why, like, oh man, like, I've heard so many stories as of recent, okay, with individuals that I've worked with personally. And it'll be even as we're talking about the topic, boom, the shit shifts in 3D. And they were like, oh my God. And I'm like, yeah, it's that fast. Why? Because you change your awareness in every now moment. I could say right now I want coffee. Next now moment I want tea. What was that? Not instant? It was instant, right? It was instant. So that's why, like, even when talking to someone and you're like, wait a second, let me look at this differently, boom, you can get immediate confirmation right then and there because you immediately shifted. So it really, whoa, late toxic. Love you, gorgeous. Thank you for joining. Good to see you. So things can shift instantly. Love you too, Jocelyn. Thank you for joining. So it is that, and I've seen it. I've seen instantaneous, okay? Woo! I love it when you're in the chat, late toxic. So it can be truly instant. I've done that. I've shifted my awareness instantaneously, and the thing happened within an hour. The thing happened overnight. It doesn't need to take a long quote time, okay? It really doesn't. So if you're perceiving that something is going to take a long time, then you're still the one who is telling that story that's going to take a long time, and then what's going to play out for you, it's going to take a long time. Not because it is, but because you're saying it, and you are the Lord and there isn't else. So it's like, okay, well, that we have to do as God commands, let's see what else is happening here. Is it possible to wake up in a completely different reality? Of course it is. Anything is possible, but you're the one that has to be on board with that. Okay? So remember, the reality is not shifting. You're shifting, and the reality is being reflected to you because of your perception. So you are the one that, if you want that to occur, you're going to imagine how you want to wake up in your desired reality and what's going on. And then you're just going to say it's already done. Okay? So you could wake up in your desired reality. You could be in your desired reality right now. It's just it's your perception. And you're not changing the reality. Remember that. So you're not going into it like, oh, I have to fight. I have to make up a logical thing as to why this would happen or that would happen. No, you're just going into it. You're like, okay, yeah, it's done. It's done now. It's done perfectly for me. So, ooh, I love it. You guys are listening to your own audio tapes. Yeah, I find those to be like really good if you're into that type of stuff, because you can get so personal and it's your own voice. So it's like you talking to your own subconscious. You know what I mean? What would you recommend to someone who had psychic capacities as a kid but they dimmed with illness? That's still a story that you're telling yourself. So if anything, you'd want to switch that to say that the psychic abilities are stronger now than they were before. So you're keeping the psychic abilities story, but you're not putting any type of like, impediment on them. Oh, yeah, too, Cheryl, that's right. Too many techniques, because it's like the manifestation community is like very saturated, at least in my opinion, and like everyone has an opinion, and it's like I affirmed robotically for 10 hours and the person showed up. Okay. And then, it's kind of like clickbaity, right? So it's like, then someone else says, well, I did a visual, and then they showed up. I listened to this subliminal, and then they showed up. And then it's like, motherfuckers, it's like rabid dogs, okay, running to do that new technique because they're in a place of desperation. So if anyone is in a place of desperation, you should refrain from anything and everything other than getting your self-concept in fucking alignment. Fucking technique. Just do an affirmation. That's the simplest thing. You're always talking to yourself in your mind. I'm the Lord and there is none else. I already have everything that I want. All is well. Everything is perfect. Boom. If you're too like discombobulated, I need to do this technique, I need to do that technique. No, you need to center yourself. You need to center yourself and not think about a technique. The only technique is returning back to self. Deep breathing. I'm the Lord and there is none else. All is well. Everything is perfect. I always get what I want. Boom. Okay, that's really what it is, you know. But if anyone finds themselves that they're looking for the next technique and the next manifestation person or whatever, like, you're doing the most. And like I said, you don't need to do shit. So if you are too focused on a circumstance or a person, you need to get back to yourself and you need to get that self-concept up. Okay? And how you get your self-concept up, if I feel like doing the most, then that's showing me I need to relax. That is really what it is, you know. Identity over techniques any day. Yeah, I mean, because if you're being someone who's desperate, then, you know, it's like that energy stank. Like, I know everyone in the chat, because y'all are all fucking sexy. You've all had that motherfucker, most likely several, who was so into you, but like, you sensed that they were desperate and you were turned off. And I know you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Everyone in here has had that. Legit. So it's like, anyone who is desperate is a repellent to the thing that they want because they're desperate. And it's coming from lack. So it's like a fucking incubus or succubus, and you can kind of sense it, like, ooh, like, I don't want to be around this motherfucker because they're fucking desperate. And the more that they tried to get with you, the more turned off by them you were. Because you sense the desperation. Even if they weren't overtly like, oh my God, I want to get with you. Like, you still sensed it. And you're like, I don't know about that. It stank. It is. So if that's how some individuals be when they're like, I need to do this technique. Now I need to do that technique. It's like, you know, right, like toxic. I know you know what I'm talking about. I mean, you can smell the desperation, and it's like, whoa, like that shit's a turn off. So it's kind of like the same thing, where you're looking for something else to do. You're looking for affirmations. You're desperate. Then you need to take your focus off of whatever that is and return to self and be like, okay, I'm going to do my deep breathing. I am the Lord and there is none else. All is well. Everything is perfect. And I'm going to relax because the ego is telling me I need to do something. So therefore, I'm the Lord and there is none else. I'm not going to listen to the ego. I'm going to relax. Yes, it does, Ashley. Desperation signals lack. So if anyone is desperate, looking at a circumstance, looking for a new technique, looking for a new manifestation person to you know, write comments under their videos, right? It's like, you know, check yourself before you wreck yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you're exuding that desperate energy, so you're not going to get what you want. And if you do in that moment get what you want, you're not going to be able to maintain it because you're coming from a place of lack. So center yourself. If you feel like you have to do something, don't do fucking shit. Now, I'm not saying don't, you know, you have third dimensional things that you do, right? You eat, you fucking shower, you brush your teeth, you put deodorant, hopefully. I hope so, you know. You doing all of that, and that's it. So you're doing things third dimensionally, but in your mind, you're in, you know, like toxic. I'm just saying, you know. So in your mind, you're like, okay, I already have the thing. Maybe it's not in front of me, but I have the awareness in my mind that it's already done. So there are things I'm going to do in the 3D, yes, because I have a vessel and I maintain it and I groom myself and I fucking shower and do all the things that I'm doing, but I'm not going ham to get what I want because I already have it in my mind. That's proper manifesting, in my opinion, right? You have it in your mind. Are you still executing things third dimensionally? Of course you the fuck are. Because you have a body. How can you not do anything in the 3D, but you're not performing an action in order to make the 3D move? You make the 3D move from 4D or 5D, whatever it is, okay? From both. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, right? So you're trying to war after the flesh from the flesh. You're not gonna, this would be a fucking bloodbath. You know what I'm saying? When you war after the flesh, the third dimensional stuff in the mind. And guess what? It's like, you know what I'm picturing? If any of you have ever seen that movie, War of the Worlds, there's like a few different ones. I'm talking about the one with Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning. So in that movie, spoiler alert, the tripods. I love that sound that the tripods make when they like stand up and they like, I don't know what they do when they blow in the whistle or some shit. I love that sound. Oh my God, I could jerk off to it right now. But anyway, so that, when the tripods came up and they started zapping motherfuckers, right? They were like taller and bigger and all they did, boom, they would zap a motherfucker and they would disintegrate into nothing. Whole physical vessel done disappeared. That's what I'm seeing when it says, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh, from the book of fucking Corinthians. Oh my God, I love it. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. You trying to fight someone on the third dimensional level, shit gonna get messy. Shit gonna get sloppy. You trying to fight with the circumstance, it's gonna get sloppy. So you have to be above like the tripod, looking down and whoosh, just zap it out. Okay, that doesn't exist anymore. Boom, it just dissolves. There's no mess. It just dissolved. For though we walk in the flesh, for though you have a third dimensional suit, you do not war after the flesh. You don't use the suit to implement change. You use the mind to implement the change. And then the thing that you perceive from a third dimensional perspective as like limiting or circumstance is just going to dissolve on its own. My AI friend is back again discussing the importance of self-perception over manifestation techniques. Well, yeah, how you view yourself is, you know, I mean, listen, I always say this, not everyone needs to work on self-concept, but if you're desperate, then yeah, you fucking do need to work on self-concept, because someone with a strong self-concept, which is not to be confused with self-confidence, you're not going to be desperate. I mean, you might be impatient, might be pissed that it hasn't happened yet. You might be, from a logical standpoint, trying to figure out the how, but you're not going to be desperate. You're going to be like, yeah, it didn't happen, but you know what, it's already happened in my mind, so fuck this shit, right? Whereas someone who has a poor self-concept, they're going to likely be like, but the technique, but they said they don't want me, but this, but that, because they're so in a place of lack from themselves. And all you have to do is give it to yourself in your mind, okay? But if your mind is kind of like tainted by, you know, things never work out for you, nothing ever goes your way, no one ever chooses you for anything, and it's like, come on, you know what I mean? Then you're gonna come at it from a place of lack because you feel poorly about yourself. So it's like pick me energy, because you don't choose yourself, so you're looking to the outside for whoever. That's it. Let's see. That's a great question, Rebecca. Thank you. How do you define self-concept versus self-confidence? Self-confidence is what the ego would do, right? You're confident. Oh, I look good. I'm the shit. I smell good. I dress nice. I'm in shape. It's like external, right? I drive a nice car. I live in a mansion. I have a yacht. I travel first class. Right? That's self-confidence, right? It's outer. Self-concept, how do you view yourself on the inside? It has nothing to do with looks. Am I someone who is valued? Am I someone who people love? Am I someone who is always getting what I want? Am I someone who is feeling light and like everything goes my way and I'm just feeling in a good mood, whether I have the thing or not. I'm just in a good mood because that's who I am. It's inner. Self-concept is inner, how you view yourself. It's like inner, I don't know, Riz, okay, if you want to call that what the cool kids say. And self-confidence is like outer. I look good, but see, here's the thing. Someone could be like, but I'm rich and I look good, and you know I drive this car and I always travel first class. Oh, but they don't want you. Well, then you know, why don't they want you? I don't know. Like, you see what I'm saying? So that's, it's more like self-confidence is like the shell, but if inner, you don't feel like the person wants you and that you're not like important to them, or so that would be more related to self-concept. Whereas someone can be like, maybe they're not confident, maybe they're saying they're not the best looking, that they're, you know, they're kind of average, but they know that they're important to the people in their life. That's a good self-concept, even if the outer, they're saying they're not, you know, they're in everything, right? But they're like, well, I'm special to this person, I'm special to that person, I'm valued in my career, I'm valued by my friends and family, right? Like, you see, it's like a different type of thing, you know? So, self-confidence, I mean, anything could be faked. Even self-concept, in my opinion, can be faked, because sometimes you gotta fake it before you make it, right? That's the whole purpose of affirmations. You don't necessarily need to believe them, but you're just saying them over and over again. I'm loved, I'm valuable, I'm chosen, I'm lucky, everything always goes my way. Yeah, you're faking it if you don't fucking believe it, but you can lead to it, right? You're faking sometime. Well, I mean, if you want to call it that, like delusion, everything is faked, right? Your manifestation is faked before it's made manifest in the 3D, because it's in your mind. So would that be considered fake? I'm a multimillionaire, I'm married to the love of my life. Where is it? Someone could say that that's fake too, right? So you're faking everything. It's just what do you want to fake more of until it materializes? Because it's like everything is fake, but then if you continue to look at that vision of whatever it is, it's going to materialize and it's going to be real. So everything is, right? It's just like weird shit, you know. A lot of things with manifestation can seem like they're paradoxes, such as what I just said, but, you know, just my perspective. So, let's see here. I'm just like going through these. I mean, if your man cheated on you before, did you unknowingly create him to do this? You did. I'm not saying you deserved it. Not saying you wanted that to happen. I'm not saying you're even aware that you created it, but there was something in you that, you know, there was something. Okay, whatever it was, I don't know, you would know, but yeah, you did. Because if everyone is you pushed out, then to an extent you created that, yes. How do you manifest renewal of your permit in a complicated situation? Okay, well, number one, you're labeling the situation as complicated, so you'd want to say that it's easy and smooth. Okay, and if you manifested things in the past, what did you do that made you feel comfortable, that brought those other manifestations into third dimensional fruition? You would do the same technique. But it's like, if you're saying something is complicated, then how do you manifest it? Well, number one, you stop saying it's complicated. You say it's easy. And you use the techniques that you used before, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anyone has a technique that works for them, that they're comfortable with, I would suggest you just stick with it and implement that for everything. That is my suggestion, you know. How do you figure out within yourself what caused a 3P? Well, if that's your first experience with it, or if that is not your first experience with the 3P, if it's a pattern, you know, what does that pattern say, right? If it's isolated to this one situation, did you have a story about that particular person? You see, it's like, you know, if there's a pattern, sometimes it's easier to figure out what the story is. If it's an isolated incident, in a way it's kind of better, because it's like, well, maybe it's just a story about that person. But it would be likely either coming from a self-concept, or how you perceive relationships, or how you perceive that it, or how you perceive that person. So that's what it is. But I would look to see if there's a pattern. You have a story about him, yeah. So then, I mean, you have to change that story. If there's no pattern, that's a good thing, because you know, it's not something you're carrying within you for all relationships. But if it's about this person particularly, you have to view them differently, and you'd want to stop saying that there's a 3P. You know. When did I discover that not doing techniques works better for you? I mean, I don't, I do techniques, so that's the thing. Like, even deciding is a technique. But like, I like to visualize. I enjoy it. So I wouldn't say that it works better or it doesn't. It depends. Like, if I want to think of, you know, a visual, then I'm going to do it. Is that a technique? I guess, but I enjoy it. So as long as that technique is fun and natural for you, it's not even going to feel like a technique. But even when someone is just affirming over and over again, like, and I mean affirming in like your mind, okay? So let's say someone is unaware that they're consciously creating their experience through the thoughts that they're dominantly focused on. It's kind of like, you know, if someone is not wanting something to happen, and they're saying, oh, I don't want this to happen, I don't want this to happen, you're still sending out the signal of your awareness on that thing. So that's a technique, but you don't know it's a technique. So it's like, a technique, it really, you know, for me, I like to visualize. But I'm also, the technique that I would recommend, I'm always mindful of where I'm thinking from. Okay, so if I'm impatient about something, what is the technique I do? I switch out the thought. I'm mindful. So for me, it's more about being mindful rather than a technique, and being mindful. Okay, I don't prefer scripting. I don't. Like, some individuals like it. I don't. I'm bored. I don't want to sit and like, no. So I'll visualize. So I have an awareness. If I want something, I find it fun, I'm going to visualize. Is that a technique? Yes. So I'll do that. But it's like you incorporate whatever it is into your lifestyle. If you're more of like an affirmation individual, then you want to go in and filter out your thought and say, okay, am I thinking that I don't want this to happen? Or am I thinking of the thing that I want? Right? Like, so everything is kind of a technique, you know, I don't know, in my opinion, at least. Discuss AI, my AI friend is back. He says, discussing self-concept versus self-confidence and how it influences your life. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that a technique is bad. I still do techniques in terms of, like, I like to visualize, but I don't look at it as a technique. The only technique I really do is just be mindful of where I'm thinking from. If I'm impatient, no, it's already done. That's it. But you don't need to do a technique. And you shouldn't do multiple techniques if you're finding it exhausting. You shouldn't be trying to force yourself to visualize if you're uncomfortable. You shouldn't be forcing yourself to sit and affirm. It's about like going what's comfortable for you, because manifestation doesn't shut off. You're always kind of doing techniques, right? But it's the naturalness of how it processes to you. That, like, yeah, if I'm driving, am I visualizing and affirming at the same time while I'm driving and listening to music? Yeah, it's relaxing, it's meditative, okay? But I'm not going to force myself to make a vision board because I think it's boring and a waste of time. That doesn't work for me. But if someone is enjoying making a vision board, you have to be in tune with what makes you comfortable. This way you don't burn yourself out trying to do a technique. So you have to be in touch with who you are. So you can just decide and know, and that in and of itself is a technique if you want to really call it that. But it depends. For some situations you might be able to do that easily. For others it might be like okay, well, I decided, oh, but it's not going to happen. Oh, and you still feel kind of like uneasy about it, then maybe you should do a technique. See if you could visualize, or see if you could, say some affirmations in the moment. But you have to see what works for you. That's why, like, when someone says that they manifested something by doing this, that, or the third, I'm like, okay, that's great, but might not work for everyone. Everyone is different. So the only technique I recommend, know what works for you. If you do not enjoy something, or if you find something uncomfortable, do not fucking do it. I don't care. I don't care what technique you do. If you want to decide and that's it, okay. And you shouldn't care either what the technique is. You should care about what you're experiencing while you're doing the technique. So if someone is enjoying putting on subliminals and just like zoning out to their affirmations, right? Then, okay. If someone enjoys visualizing, okay, you have to know what works for you. Do not do anything that's going to make you uncomfortable to the point where you're annoyed or bored or you feel burnt out. That's it. Because manifestation doesn't shut off, it's like you're not going to really get around it. You just want to be mindful of where you're thinking from. Do you agree the real problem is maintaining the state and not going back? I don't think that's a problem personally. But again, ideally, no one would want to perceive anything as a problem. And it ought to be easy to maintain the state, not going back, because you've shifted your identity successfully before the thing showed up in 3D. Okay, so if anyone has shifted properly, okay, how they're viewing themselves as a whole with their self-concept, and how they're viewing themselves in the apps, each individual app, career, health, relationships, all the apps, right? You have an identity in each of those. So if you have properly shifted the identity, oh my God. What? Yo, this is fucking weird. I'm getting these weird fucking pop-ups. Like this is the second pop-up I got that it said that my live has blank content. Hey, my AI friend in here ain't thinking this is blank, but that's weird. I don't know. I broke the algorithm twice, and I don't know, some weird shit is happening. But anyway, so if you have successfully shifted how you're perceiving that thing before it even arrives, you're not going to have an issue maintaining it, because you're already there. You've already claimed that version of yourself, and you're like, okay, this is what it is, right? You're in it. So that's where, you can have the thing show up in your 3D, and you have it like you're kind of in the identity, but you're kind of half out, like, you can have that. But if you find yourself in that situation, then you would want to, double down and just remind yourself, like, okay, I already have the thing. This is who I am now. This is who I am. If you find yourself getting stressed out in the 3D, you're going to be like, deep breath. I'm going to woo-saw that shit out. And I'm just going to say, this is normal for me. This is natural for me. I'm the Lord and there is none else. All is well. Everything is perfect. Just, it's relaxing yourself. This is why most individuals, from what I have seen, are not able to keep their manifestation, or they keep it for a little bit and then the same thing happens, because it's like they're still triggered. Okay, so if you respond and react to a trigger in the way that you would have before, you didn't change. So you want to be mindful that you got the thing, it's here, but it's kind of like, okay, well, but I didn't fully assume the state. I sat in the closet, I robotically affirmed for 10 hours and the thing showed up, but you were so focused on the thing showing up that you didn't shift who you were. So that could work. And if you're okay with that, but you want to be like, here's what I recommend. Okay, now this might not work for everyone, but for me, I always ask myself, right, like especially if it's something that my ego was big or like a major change, I'm like, I have to allow my body to accept it. And Joe Dispenza talks about this. Okay, he talks about this a lot, so if you want like in-depth analysis of that, but he talks about it. And he says, you know, you want to make sure that your body is like processed the thing, right? Okay, so what does that mean? That means that you, when you think about the thing and you think from it, okay? So let's say I want to manifest fucking mint chocolate chip ice cream. Oh, I fucking love mint chocolate chip. I had motherfuckers try to tell me mint chocolate chip ice cream tastes like toothpaste, and I'm like, bitch, that shit tastes good. And they're like, that's nasty. I'm like, well, you know what? Fuck you, okay? Because mint chocolate chip is the fucking shit. Yo, Les Toxiques, right? It's the fucking shit, okay? So let's say I want to manifest mint chocolate chip ice cream, okay? And then I'm imagining it, okay? This is how you calibrate your vessel to be in resonance with that thing, okay? The naturalness, normalness of it. I'm thinking from experiencing the mint chocolate chip, okay? So I'm like spooning it into my mouth, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'm imagining myself in it, okay? That's thinking from the desire. I have it, I'm tasting it, I'm feeling the cold, you know what I mean? Okay, if you're thinking of the desire, I want some mint chocolate chip ice cream, it's like you're kind of just observing it as separate, right? Whereas if you're in the manifestation thinking from, you're in it, you're receiving the mint chocolate chip, you know what I'm saying? So that's the difference. So if you find yourself that, like, when you think of the thing and you want to robotically affirm or some shit, right? Because you know that your vessel has some resistance, and you're just gonna fucking know if you have resistance to the thing, because that can't be faked. It can't, okay? If you're like, right, if you think about the thing and you're like, whoa, like that, like it's uneasy, it's like uncomfortable, whatever the fuck it is, okay, your vessel is not calibrated to it. It just isn't, because it should be as natural as I'm sipping this right here. It should be as natural as this mint chocolate chip ice cream through a straw. Fuck yeah, we'll let it melt a little bit so it could go through the straw, okay? So it's like, it should be as natural, and I'm holding this. I don't have any resistance to it. I'm like, ooh, you know, I'm not, oh my God. I'm just like, yeah, it is what it is. That's the naturalness. And the naturalness is not going to process as anything super fucking special. It's just going to be, it is what it is. So if you find that you're overly excited about the thing, or if you're anxious about the thing, and your body is you know, processing some energy in a certain type of way, that's when you go in and you really, I mean, I would recommend a visual. If you're not comfortable with visualizing, just go in your mind, write it down, or say some affirmations. I'm tasting this mint chocolate ice cream. It tastes so wonderful. It's normal and natural for me to have this mint chocolate chip ice cream. That's how you do it. You be in it, not, oh, mint chocolate chip ice cream, wow, it looks so good, and you're putting mint chocolate chip ice cream on a pedestal. You know what I mean? So, as I said, Joe Dispenza talks about that, and, you know, he really gets into it, because what you're really doing, your body is the one that's time traveling, right, through the first time. It's your body. It's not, like, your mind is already there. So it's just like you want to calibrate your body. And that's why sometimes when you have these uncomfortable emotions come up, whiskey sour, oh, that's not your favorite? Oh, well, I mean, I don't know. I guess to each their own. I've never had that one. But are you going to finish it, or are you just going to, I mean, me personally, I don't waste alcohol. If it tastes bad, you know what I would do? I would put some things in it. I remember you told me that you like made like a nice little cocktail because you put some additives to it, so maybe mix it with something else so you don't waste it. Not really whiskey. Of course you'll drink it. Hell yeah. High five across the screen. So Yeah, me, if I'm finding like an alcoholic adult beverage is tasting not to my preference, I'm not gonna waste it. I'm gonna think quick. I'm be like, okay, let's make a quick cocktail out of whatever it is. I'll just add a whole bunch of shit. So your body is the one that's time traveling, okay, through these different whatever the fuck it is, right? Because you're experiencing from a third dimensional level. How can you experience anything in the 3D if you didn't have a body? So it's really your body that has to be calibrated to that time zone. I don't know why I called it a time zone, but whatever, okay? So you're calibrated to that time zone in your body because it is a moment in time, right? That your body is moving towards linearly, right? But you're already there in your mind, so it's like the body is the one that's like catching up, right? So this is Joe Dispenza. And by the way, like, I just want to say that, like, I have heard only amazing things about like Joe Dispenza meditations and things like that. So if that's something you're into, me personally, I get bored listening to meditations, but I have heard that they worked for people. So if you are interested in that, because he really gets into like, the calibration of the body. Okay. So if you feel any, type of like uncomfortable sensation in your body, it just means that there's some emotional body, right? The emotional body, there's still something in there that's like, even if it's just a little uncomfortability because it's unfamiliar to you, it might not be like super crazy resistance where you're rejecting the entire fucking quantum leap, but there's still something like, is this even possible? Can I have everything that I want, right? Like, there might be something. So how do you tone it down? You naturalize it and normalize. And how you do that, you just keep going into this state. It's normal. And you picture the mint chocolate chip ice cream. You affirm the mint chocolate chip ice cream. You write it down. You do that not for your mind because it's already there, not because the thing doesn't exist and because you had to create it, because it's already being made manifest. It's already a thing, right? You do it for your body because your body is the one that is gonna experience it, right? Like, that's why we fucking want the shit that we want. That's why we want the motherfucker, so we get to smash. The fuck? Here's one thing. Whenever I hear anyone in the manifestation community talk about, you don't want the thing, you want the feeling. Bitch, I could bring the feeling to myself whenever the fuck I want. I want to experience it in the flesh. That's something I add. That is something I fucking add. If I'm thinking of the thing, I'm like, ooh, and I get to have this in the flesh. In carne. Fuck yes. That's why we're here, in my opinion, as a total non-professional. That's why we're here. That's why we have fucking flesh suits. We're the all extension fractals, right? But it's like, dog, we're here because we want to taste the mint chocolate chip. We want to smash the motherfucker, right? We want to have the first class luxury 5-star experience wherever we go. We want that, and there ain't no shame in that, right? To experience something in the flesh. So if someone says you don't want the thing, you want the feeling, that in my opinion is a bunch of bullshit, because you want the thing. And the whole reason the desire came into your awareness is because you're meant to experience it in the flesh. It's like you have Netflix, you have a whole bunch of movies, and all of the movies are already there. The script has already been written, everything is already done, they're set. So if the movie wasn't made complete in that moment where you viewed a snippet of it, a trailer, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the title, it's like the movie exists, it came into your awareness, you get to choose which one you want to watch, but they're all already done. If they weren't already all done, you wouldn't even have the awareness of it. So I don't know where the fuck I was going with that. But it is what it is. So I think that I've been yapping for quite some time, and I don't want to get this super long. I always say that. I don't know how long I was talking, but anyway, guys, thank you all for joining, and the likes and the comments and the shares and the follows and the gifts. I appreciate you all. This will be on YouTube at a certain point in time. Time doesn't exist. But thank you all. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever the time zone is for you guys. Good to see you, two legs. Thank you, Ashley. Love all of you. I appreciate all of you sending the best intentions that, you get good things for yourself, because you already are the good thing. You just have to, that's your reminder. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, it's 3:33. Holla. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye. But thank you all. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever the time zone is for you guys. Good to see you, two legs. Thank you, Ashley. Love all of you. I appreciate all of you sending the best intentions that, you get good things for yourself, because you already are the good thing. You just have to, that's your reminder. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. Thank you all. Have a great morning, afternoon. Thank you all. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever the times. Evening, night, whatever the time zone is for you guys. Good to see you, two legs. Thank zone is for you guys. Good to see you, two legs. Thank you, Ashley. Love all of you. I appreciate all of you sending the best intentions that, you get good things for yourself, because you already are the good thing. You just have to, that's your reminder. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, it's 3:33. Holla. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.